PlayStation ain't dead, dead. PlayStation ain't dead, dead. PlayStation ain't dead, dead. PlayStation ain't dead, dead. You and what I said. PlayStation ain't dead.
Oh, shit.
Okay,
So the title of today's program is Preservation versus Piracy with the Radical One. This stemmed from a conversation Reggie and I have been having about
Argument.
Argument. Oh,
Oh no! Oh, I didn't know.
Let's go.
no. Where are we arguing? I got to go review my notes and shit. No, we weren't arguing. Oh man, look at you! You're a drama YouTuber all of a sudden. This is fantastic. We're having a discussion about Project Retro Games. Project Retro Games. He's historically has released I would say lost media, translated media. He takes the one game that I purchased from him was Resident Evil 1.5, which was supposed to be Resident Evil 2, but somewhere along the way the ship changed course and then they scrapped that and then they made an entirely different game. And Resident Evil 1.5 was discovered, and people put it together. They've translated it, and what he did was he put it in a very good looking case. The guy's an artist. No two ways about it. The guy does great work. It's a beautiful presentation, and they are pressed discs, but they will only play on modded consoles. And he's done several games, and Reggie's been. I yelled at Reggie one time in the past because I was like, "Oh shit, I want to get that," and then it turns out, no wait, I gotta have something modded. Oh fuck, goddamn. But him and I are going back and forth because recently, Project Retro Games, he's slated to release. He's doing a modded console for both Haunting Ground and Rule of Rose, PS2 games, and he's also doing the games themselves, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And I was like, Reggie, dude, what's up with your boy? Why is he going the VGP way? These aren't games nobody wants to play. He's just going after that. He's going after that dollar. No, I don't blame him. But is it preservation or is it just straight up piracy? I mean, he does put it in a fancy, beautiful looking case. But oh man, I don't know. I'm leaning towards he's jumped the shark. He should have stuck with what he was doing and what was working. But it seems he just wants to get that dollar. Here's this is from Instagram. This is the custom PS2 he's making for Rule of Rose.
Right.
That's cool. That's dope.
Yeah,
is he only making like one of those, or is he making like a few of those?
Oh, he's making like at least like 30, I think, something like that.
Oh, okay.
Is he hand painting each one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a video of him doing this one right here.
Yeah, that's usually what he does, right? So he does like about 30. Those are like the ultra like collectors, and then he'll sell the game separately also if you only want the game. Yes or no?
Yeah, but the thing is though, if he sells the game separately, people have to know that it'll only play on a modded system, and that's where the modded system comes in at. So people need to know that.
He's not making a lot of them though. Typically,
no. He'll make around 50ish, I believe, for certain games. Like he actually did the translation for Samurai Showdown RPG, and he only did 50 of those, and those sold out really fast. People were asking him to do more. But going back to like the whole thing with the piracy and all that stuff, I think it's more because he wants to do the console because he wants to sell the modded consoles, because if people have the modded consoles, then they're going to be able to play the games that he has in the future easily, right? So as far as Rule of Rose, we know that's a rare game, very expensive. A lot of people have not played it. Well, I guess it's more of like a thing he could do the system, which is very cool. You guys got to see the box for it too. I think he's doing like a collector's package and all that stuff. But the game
I remember seeing like a PS1 that you got, like a big collector's edition. It was like beautiful. I remember showing that.
Yeah. So I think the game is more of a toss-in for his modded consoles, because doing that theme of Rule of Rose, I think it's pretty cool because a lot of people haven't played it, but
Right.
it'll only work on a modded console. And I think his is not going to look exactly like the originals look or whatever, so the game.
Mhm.
So people know the difference. The whole thing is that his version is not going to work on a regular PS2. You know what I mean? Because of that detection. PS1, PS2 are known for their like their anti-piracy. So it's hard to like play modded stuff on them. So there was no official way to really copy a PS2 game and play on those systems without any modification. So yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think when Will like first brought this up, it was more, they're reprinting Haunting Ground. This is the way I took it. They're reprinting Haunting Ground or this and that. And I'm like, dude, well, my personal stance is I don't give a shit because I'm not for piracy or anything like that. But when it comes into the question of is it going to affect the value of Haunting Ground or no, it's not. I see it more as fan art. It's not a complete one-to-one reproduction, and they're so limited. I mean, it's a really, really niche base that is even going to buy it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
I never said reprint. All right.
I knew, but I thought that's what you were going for. Like, it's gonna tank the value.
No, it's not. No, that's not gonna tank the value. It's obviously only gonna work on modded consoles. It's obviously not an original. You can tell by looking at it. The guy's doing custom work. He's doing custom work. My gripe is he's going after the heavy hitter. Why? Not because it's a good game, not because anyone asked for it, but because it's the heavy hitter. And that's I don't know. It just sticks in my craw. I like to complain. I got a hill. I'm gonna die on it, and here it is. I got to be a watchdog for this hobby because no one else does. Somebody's got to keep the goddamn gate, and I'm here for it.
I would like a custom PS2 for NBA Live 08. Do you think he'll do that?
Now, Reggie, I don't know if you know this, but how does he get by with doing that? So if it's the full game on the disc, like without obviously they're not selling the game anymore. But how does he get by with with that, with the Resident Evils, with the NBA 2K? He did an NBA like a new edition of NBA. How does he get by with doing that stuff? Like, isn't there like copyright laws or anything like that you're aware of?
It's like a gray area. To be honest with you, I mean, they usually won't bother you unless they see that you're making a whole bunch of money on it or whatever like that. So they'll ding you if you're making like. I'll give you guys an example. So there was this Kickstarter, it was for a 35th anniversary Nintendo. What's that championship thing? It was something that the fans made, 35th anniversary, and Nintendo didn't care.
You showed that on the show when last time you were on.
Yeah. So they had a Kickstarter for it, and when the Kickstarter hit a certain point, Nintendo shut it down because it made a lot of money. I mean, they don't usually the companies don't care unless they see you're making money on it. A lot of money, I would say, but it's a gray area, I would say, because I mean, technically they could probably come after them. You know what I'm saying? Maybe,
right?
But they're not.
Yeah, that's probably why.
Here's the gray area too. They're not exactly copied because you have to play the games on modded consoles. So technically you can't just play them on regular consoles. So that's another gray area too. That's probably why they,
right.
It's probably why he only does like a run of 30. And then, I think typically, I mean, like whatever site he uses, that you can order him, he pretty much just custom makes them one off, doesn't he? Not the consoles, but the games. Like, if I want to go buy Resident Evil 1.5, he'll just go and make that, right? It's not like he has 10,000 sitting in the back of his room or something like that,
Yeah, he has I think they have a press machine, so they can press the information on the disc, and then like manuals and. He designs the art for the manuals in the back case, so he orders that from somewhere else as well. So here's another thing too. Now with this whole like modded systems, it's only for like PS2 and PS1 and Sega Saturn stuff. Well, he does prints of Neo Geo CD, Sega CD, or what's that PC Engine or TurboGrafx CD. Those games will work just by putting the game in the system, so you don't know no mods needed. So
I didn't know that.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the cool part about that stuff. Now, as far as like Sega CD stuff, because I sold all my Sega CD stuff years ago, and there was many reasons why I sold it. I mean, one of the reasons, which wasn't the main reason I sold them, But disc rot is known to happen in Sega CD and Sega Saturn games if you're not careful where you store these games. Well, with his reprint of these games, you don't have to worry about that because the quality of CD is better. So that's nice to have around.
Right.
A Sega CD collection, is not going to be prone to disc rot. So
I got to give it to him for using press discs, unlike who was it? Limited Run Games and their fucking D on 3DR.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah, that was great.
Well, again, my whole argument is it's not it's not so much the piracy thing. It's just he's targeting these are heavy hitter games. This is from Instagram. This is he's asking which working on another PS2 edition, which CD artwork should I use? And he's got the original on top. And he's got the I guess his take on it on the bottom. I like the original. It looks good. I know the guy does great work. He does great art. The fucking my
personally, I would not do the original because it creates confusion down the line.
Yeah, it can. I think he chooses those because obviously they're more popular ones, and they'll bring eyes on his stuff if he does stuff like that. If he does something like, I don't know, just a game like
put that picture back.
If he did something like a Frogger edition PS2, no one probably would bring any eyes on it or like that. Game that people are popular.
It's different.
Yeah, it's different. The ring is whiter on his.
Well, this is this is white. This isn't white. There.
This is silver, yeah. But
scratch.
Yeah, I'm just surprised. I'm also just like James asked. I'm surprised the guy's getting away with it because he's.
I was always curious about how people would do that stuff. I'm like, I know people like do it with shirts and things like that. They have the licensed characters on these shirts that they make and things like that.
James,
how that works on
James, next time when I go to the barbershop, I'll ask my guy. I'll ask my guy at the barbershop. He's always got everything, you know what I mean? He's got the DVDs. He's got the sneakers.
DVDs.
He's got everything there.
To answer your question too, man. The reason they get away with it too, because these companies, they will only really go after you if they can make some money off of you. If they really still don't want you to do it, send you a system cease order like Nintendo does. But if there was money involved that they could get from you, yeah, they'll go after you. You making like
that's what I was wondering because
like okay
because you think of like like the ROM sites. Nintendo was going around, all these ROM sites were getting knocked down like left and right, and I feel like it's almost the same way. But he's doing it a little bit different versus just hosting a site and having a site where you could download illegally ROMs, where he's doing it a little bit different. So that's what I was kind of that was my area as far. I didn't know how that would work. I've seen these ROM sites get knocked down.
They'd only come down on him if Sony was in the process of like remastering fucking Haunting Ground right now. They'd be like, not happening. Sorry.
Yeah.
So there you go. There's your confirmation, guys. They haven't come down on him. That means you're not getting a remaster of Haunting Ground anytime soon.
Capcom hasn't reached out yet.
Also, he only does like a highest print run he'll do of certain games is probably like 50 to 100. I would say 100 with CDs, and then like with carts, he'll probably do like 50 or whatever like that because he's doing like carts as well. Like I posted some on my Instagram. Like he has this game called Hyper Area, a Super Nintendo game. It translated in English, which I guess that hadn't been done. And carts, he's testing the water, so around 50 of those to be safe, I would say. And then
now with I'm sorry. Go. Oh, I was going to say, with the Sega CD stuff or the Turbo stuff or something like that, where you said you don't need a modded console, does he change the cover? Does he change the artwork? He does the artwork of the CD. Like it's like, oh yeah, making Snatcher. Like, can you tell the difference? Like that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
So the Snatcher I got is like in a cardboard thing, and that game was released on a jewel case thing. CD art, you have his print on it. It says Project Retro Games, so he'll know. But yeah, usually with those type of games, he doesn't want to change the artwork too much because it's just easier just to make more and then boom.
That's the biggest thing for me. I'll go to my local game store, and he's got I'll look through the Genesis collection, And you know, the guy at my game store, he's not trying to do anything nefarious, but like you know, he just doesn't want loose carts around, so he'll print off a cover or something like that, you know, and put it in there. And I most of the time I could blatantly see that it's like, okay, that's one of his printed off covers. But man, when it comes to like when you're looking at a sea of red fucking Genesis games, and you're like, it's like, is this a printed cover? Is this because there was so much inconsistency back then with the paper and the covers and whatnot, you know? And you know, I have to add, like, I'll only buy it if he's there, because I'll be like, is this one that you, you know, because it's actually really difficult to figure out, you know? You know, and we were doing that with Sega CD stuff too, because like, he couldn't remember one of the Sega CD stuff, so I said, all right, let's take it apart. And I know that like the back cover of a Sega CD has the perforated, you know, like at the fold. Like it's kind of like you know, dots. I mean, that's like the only way I would be able to tell if it was like real. I was speaking to a friend of mine though, and they could copy that now too. It's like, fucking hey, man. It makes me not want to collect like that stuff anymore, because there's so much.
Yeah, because it's expensive. If it's not the real stuff, it's like you don't want to get bopped on it. Like I found out that as far as like places like Brazil and stuff in Mexico, like reproduction games are like it's a normal thing there. I mean, you could trade them in and everything at game stores. They're fine with it. Right. So it's like it's really mixed up there. It hasn't got like that here, thankfully, but you know it's happening in other places. I didn't realize.
Well, I'll go in. I'll see. Like he'll have like Gunstar Heroes or something like that, and it'll be like $30, and I'll be like, "What the fuck?" But like I could tell it's a shiny cover, you know. And like like on those, he'll like he knows that the cart and everything is a retro, is a reproduction. Yeah.
Can you tell something about their Sonic cover for Game Boy Advance?
Oh God.
Yeah, I know, right? They sold this to me. I think I got this for like $5-10.
Yeah. So, I wouldn't even want that anywhere near my collection, because it would just get lost in the shuffle, and I'd forget. After like 10 years, I'd forget. I'd be like, I don't fucking know. It wasn't real. What's the story behind this? I forget, you know? It's like...
So it's like, Mr. Wizard, right? He did like the Game Boy, like our Game Boy, the Ghostbusters NES game Slime. Those repos.
Right, yeah. Sure.
So are they? I don't know if you know. Like, are they the same? Is he doing the similar what you know Project Retro is doing, or is it the actual game and he's just kind of like this? Like for instance, like the cover there, is that he's just doing the shell and stuff, or is he?
Yeah, he's mainly doing the shell. I mean, the game is already done because it came out in Japan. I believe that version of the game. So yeah, he just does the outside part and everything. He, as far as him, he just puts certain games together. I don't think he's really done any Well, I don't know, Jerry. I'm trying to remember because it's been a while since I got something from him. But he helped put Reggie's Radical Adventures on a Dreamcast. He made a couple of those, which is cool. But as far as like programming and translation, I don't think he does that.
Okay.
Reggie's Radical Adventures. That one flew under my radar. What? What's that?
On the Dreamcast.
Well, shit. I'm gonna go download a pirated copy. Screw you.
PlayStation ain't dead.